Okay, hello people. Yeah, live I think. Alright, so g'day my EddieTheStreamer. Coming to you from Cairns, Queensland, Australia. It's raining outside, I know it's a little loud, but it shouldn't interfere with what we're doing. So this is where, if you're new here, this is where we look around the internet and see what we can find that's new, interesting, and we haven't seen hundreds of times before. This guy's thing is pretty good. I like the way he presents it. Mostly the talking fish.
Or speared off.
Yeah, human. Hey, you calling about the drones? I'm already on it.
I'm calling because you haven't shown up to hide our secrets. Most codes are eventually cracked, but not all of them. The Voyage manuscript is a book filled with drawings and symbols nobody can read. The Beale ciphers point to hidden treasure, if someone could decode them. There are entire ancient languages we can't understand because they're encrypted. Encryption can be simple or very complicated. Either way, it's just running a message through a series of mathematical rules. For decades, even centuries, some codes use mathematical rules that remain unbreakable, but they're about to be challenged by something new. Machines that don't care about math and don't follow any rules. If he doesn't pick up this time, I am replacing his vodka with gutter water. Or smeared off.
Yeah, human. Hey, you calling about the drones? I'm already on it.
I'm calling because you haven't shown up to work for a week.
Work? I'm busy saving the planet. These drones aren't just watching, they're planning. First they'll take the skies, and then they'll take us.
Let me guess, you're the only one who can stop them?
Someone has to stand up and say, we will not go quietly into that good night.
Just come into the studio.
Yeah, I would, but I got the living room barricaded. The beavers are on fortifying the window, and Gertie's on spit duty. You can never be too careful.
Spit duty?
Oh, yeah, she spits at anything that moves. She can hit a passing satellite. Don't ask how.
Is that why the cable's been out?
Forget the cable. These drones are organizing. If we don't act now, they'll be controlling us by sundown. You know what we need? A flamethrower. One good blast.
Or you can use ground news to figure out what's really going on.
Oh, here we go. A news app instead of a flamethrower.
Well, yes, because ground news is actually helpful. Ground News is a website and app founded by a former NASA engineer to tackle a bigger issue: how we stay informed. It's the ultimate tool for skeptics and truth seekers, cutting through sensationalism by showing how different outlets cover the same story. Take the situation with the drones. Ground News found over 200 sources covering it. Most are highly credible, but you can easily sort the reliable information from clickbait. One outlet says residents are around. Another spins it into spy balloon saga, while a top source focuses on the FAA's lack of answers.
So no alien motherships?
Nope. And their blind spot feed shows stories one side of the political spectrum isn't. How we stay informed.
Let's test that. It's like you have to buy it. You gotta pay for the app, which is not good, but that's alright. I love my new Apple. Oh, so I'll tell you what the problem is, right? I have had so much trouble with hackers. Hackers and just complete idiots, you know? Hacking into my stuff, trying to use all my internet so I can't use any. Keep doing that. But the reason I have a modem is because I have no reception in the house. Outside, full reception. Inside, no reception. But with this mobile, I have reception everywhere. Doesn't matter where I go. So, I don't need the modem. And they try to go into my computer and then into my modem, take over the modem and use all the internet for themselves. So no modem. And if they go into my phone, they've got to have my face to open anything because it's got face ID protection. From what I can figure out, all they can do is turn on the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. That's it. Don't know what benefit that is to them, but hey, when I'm on the phone, they don't bother me. When I'm on the modem, sometimes they don't bother me, sometimes they do. And I am sick of watching videos with that little thing going round and round and round and round in circles because it's not getting the internet. So, yeah. So this thing has changed my life. Going from having Optus and Telstra to just having Telstra. I'm going from modem down. Well, see, before I had to have the mobile. I had to have one mobile outside, the other mobile inside. A cord connecting them just so I could get connection, just so I could get reception. Now I just turn the Apple iPhone on and that's it. So much simpler.
Tool for skeptics and truth seekers, cutting through sensationalism by showing how different outlets cover the same story. Take the situation with the drones. Ground News found over 200 sources covering it. Most are
frame. Whatever it is you humans do.
So I'll see you in the studio.
What was that? You're cutting out. Must be drone interference. They're blocking our signal.
Kate Price's morning started like any other. Her smart home system woke her at 6 a.m. with her usual playlist. The coffee maker fired up. Her iPhone read her schedule while she brushed her teeth. Normal, routine. She opened her banking app. Something was wrong. Her balance was zero. She blinked and checked again. Her balance was back. Just a temporary error, she thought. She took a sip of coffee and nearly dropped her mug. The smart speaker was playing someone else's conversation. A couple fighting about credit card debt. She unplugged it. Then her smart TV started cycling through her photos. Private photos. Intimate photos. She pulled the plug.
Yeah, you'd be happy.
And then her phone rang. Then she heard the sirens. The oldest code we know of isn't written in complex mathematics. It's carved in stone, in an Egyptian tomb from 4,000 years ago. The scribes simply replaced regular hieroglyphs with ones they made up. They weren't trying to keep secrets, they were showing off. These were prayers carved into tomb walls. The scribes wanted to prove they knew something others didn't.
Oh, those were ancient emojis.
Not exactly.
Let's test that theory. Can humans crack this?
The simple act of substituting one symbol for another unleashed something, the human desire to keep secrets. And for thousands of years, the secret writing system created by the Minoans in ancient Crete 3,600 years ago. We can read its descendant, Linear B, but Linear A is still secret. Every attempt to crack it has failed. The Spartans made practical use of codes.
This is cryptography!
Please don't.
Too late. I already ordered the tunic and the cape. Now I just need the ads.
Can I get back to this?
Go ahead. I need to catch up on my sit-ups anyway.
The Spartans created a skittily. Here's how it works. Picture a wooden rod about as thick as your wrist. Stop it. Now wrap a strip of leather or parchment around it like a spiral. Write your message across the strip, following the spiral. When you unwrap it, the letters scramble. The message is nonsense. But wrap it around another rod exactly the same size, and the message reappears. This is called a transposition cipher. You're not changing the letters, you're just moving them around. Julius Caesar encoded all his military correspondence by shifting each letter in the alphabet by 3 spaces. A becomes D, B becomes E, and so on. When you hit Z, you loop back to A. This is called a shift cipher or Caesar cipher. The key is knowing how many spaces to shift. Caesar used 3, but you can use any number. His enemies never cracked it. In the 1820s, Thomas Beale used a book cipher to hide the location of millions of dollars of buried treasure. And here's how it works. First, pick a book. Any book. Then you replace each word in your message with a number. That number tells you which word to use from your chosen book. Count down to the 5th word on page 1, and that's your first word. Maybe the 19th word on page 2 is your second word, and so on. Beale used the Declaration of Independence.
Nicolas Cage has entered the chat.
When someone finally figured that out in 1885, they cracked one of his 3 messages. The treasure is somewhere in Bedford County, Virginia. But the other 2 messages? Still locked, because we don't know which books he used. Every year, thousands of people try to crack the Beale ciphers to find the treasure, and every year they fail. The Zodiac Killer was also ahead of his time. He encoded a message using a homophonic substitution cipher using 408 different symbols. Instead of replacing each letter with just one symbol, you replace it with several different ones. The letter E might become 3 or 7 or some symbol. Nobody knows. This makes the code much harder to break because you can't use frequency analysis. In normal English, E is the most common letter. But if you split it between multiple symbols, that pattern disappears. For 51 years, the Zodiac's message stumped the world's best cryptographers. Then in 2020, 3 amateur code breakers finally solved it.
What did it say?
Well, it said a bunch of stuff, but it started with, I like killing people because it's so much fun.
Yeah, for a serial killer, he wasn't much of a poet.
He wasn't. And the Zodiac Killer was never found. But quantum computers are about to change everything. All these ancient methods, substitutions, patterns, and tricks share one weakness: math. This is a weakness quantum computers can exploit. Soon these machines might reveal every secret message ever written, including yours. The quantum computer hissed as liquid helium circulated through the processor. Carl Bishop checked the temperature. Minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolute zero. Quantum bits needed to be that cold to maintain coherence. Stanford's quantum lab was empty at 3 a.m. He'd been running simulations for 12 hours straight. His eyes burned. But CTEC's grant requirements were clear. Demonstrate quantum error correction or lose funding. Quantum computers were... So instead of flipping that coin, it's a coin spinning on its edge. While it spins, it's not heads or tails, it's both at once. That's superposition. Now imagine trying to crack a safe with a million combinations. A normal computer can only try one combination at a time. But a quantum computer, it tries all combinations simultaneously. The NSA has been warning about this moment for years.
I thought that'd be really interesting, but actually it's not that interesting. I know about quantum computing. I know about the quantum physics stuff. Usually that guy's really good, but 5 scary videos. Let's go.
October 13th,
What we're here for, isn't it?
a couple in their kitchen experienced one of the strangest events of their
No, subscribe to everyone, so that what I want to see is thousands and thousands of, like, everyone who's a subscriber to my channel. Even if you're not, subscribe to me and subscribe to these channels. Even if you never watch them. You don't have to watch to say subscribe.
lives. Following this bizarre moment, the woman confessed that she now felt uneasy whenever she was alone in that part of the house, while her partner seemed only mildly shaken. It was close to 9 p.m. when their home security system recorded the phenomenon you're about to see. Have a look and see what you make of it. In the clip, an older electric whisk springs into action on its own, seemingly requiring no human touch to activate its stiff button. Given how hard one needs to press it, the couple found it difficult to chalk this up to coincidence. Though deeply unsettled, they weren't entirely driven from their kitchen, at least not yet. But as they would soon discover, another encounter would push their nerves even further.
You know, it could be a hacker. Because if you watch some things with the nerds, people across the world can turn the lights and that off in places that they're not even in the same country. They use programs and codes and stuff. You know, the ghost wants something to eat. Looking for a feed. We're gonna cook some eggs.
If the spontaneous whisk episode
It doesn't bother him. He's like, you want something to eat? Here. There's some eggs for you.
wasn't enough proof of paranormal interference, the next incident removed all doubt. Without any prompting, the stove flickered on, and a saucepan slid across the burner as if guided by an invisible hand. In an effort to break the tension, the man humorously placed some eggs beside the stove, inviting the spirit to try its hand at cooking. Although not everyone would respond with levity, it offered a brief reprieve from the fear. How do you think you would handle a haunting like this in your own
Probably the same way.
home? Bill had spent over a decade teaching ethics at the University of Michigan, but his true love was always music. He excelled at the piano, violin, guitar, and even the cello. Yet his lack of formal music credentials led to rejections from every institution where he applied. Then, unexpectedly, a high school in Texas asked him to take over their band program. Though the pay was meager, it was the opportunity he had always dreamed of. Within a week, Bill relocated to Texas and settled into a new apartment. Almost immediately, unusual incidents began to unfold. Doors would unlatch themselves and slam shut with startling force. At first, Bill tried to brush these oddities aside, but one fateful day changed everything.
Okay, everyone. This house is kind of freaking me out. Weird things continue to happen. The other day I put on Facebook about a light in my basement that keeps coming on. There's other things that are happening. I'm finding things just on the floor. Just things are moving. I know they were in certain places before, and then all of a sudden they end up in another spot. But I'm going to just try to continue my life as I normally would. And so what I've done to help keep my mind off these oddball things, I'm doing something different, and went out and bought a pomegranate. Now, I've never eaten a pomegranate before. So what I've learned is that the first thing you need to do is get yourself a good-sized bowl. So I've got a good-sized bowl in the cupboard here, and I will get the bowl out. Not this one. I like this one here. This should be perfect right here. So I'm going to put that way back over there. I got a plate here for cutting, and I'm going to put these back into the cupboard. Okay. Now, what I've learned about pomegranates is that you don't necessarily eat the meat of it, I guess you call it, like you would an apple, and that's what I always thought you would do, is eat a pomegranate like you did an apple. That's what I always heard they were similar to, but actually you eat the seeds. So you have to pound the seeds out and put them into
See the ball moving?
the bowl, and then from there you can sit there and eat the seeds, and they're actually very good. I've eaten half of one before. I'm going to get the. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That bowl just moved. Oh my God! It happened again. I had
Resist it and it will flee.
the bowl sitting here. You saw me put it over there, and now it's here. There's some weird things happening around here.
He had planned to record a simple video for his wife and children, but found himself capturing something far stranger. A plate intended for his pomegranates slid across the counter without explanation. This eerie event spurred him to install cameras throughout the apartment.
Yep, that is really scary. Very scary video.
A man
Yeah,
heard
they
strange
really
noises
do.
coming from the
Yeah.
sewer cover in the road and was shocked to see this.
Oh, this guy again. I see this guy a lot. There was another one I watched. It's on the end of the previous video which I'm about to put up. I don't remember what it was called that.
Stuck in the damn gutter, man.
Is it Derek?
No, it ain't Derek, man.
You look like your buddy Derek.
Why ain't your buddy? Yes, I am tonight, man. You, man.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
What the f are you doing? You're trapped in the damn gutter, man.
Beneath the cover, another man was struggling, seemingly trapped in the sewer tunnel. The person inside appeared incoherent, possibly under the influence of a substance. Despite his attempts to understand the situation,
No,
2019,
don't do
a
that.
couple in their kitchen experienced one of the strangest events of their lives.
I pressed the button on
Following
the
this
side of the
bizarre
mouse
moment,
because it reacts for no reason. Even though there is Squid Games based off that marketing. And what I was doing, new to me. It's new to me, I haven't seen something. Sounds like Trump is doing a great thing in America. He's sending all those illegal aliens and those illegal gangs back to where they come from. People that took too much population to don't take drugs. Because what happens is people take drugs and then they're like, oh, this isn't working, so they take more drugs. And then it all hits at once and they're in serious trouble. What are we on?
The rarest thing that you have seen in sporting history. Perhaps it was the unlikely comeback of Dave Waddle in the 1972 Olympics. Maybe it was the impossible world record set by Bob Beamon back in the 1968 Games in the long jump. Maybe it was the unlikely but shocking world record set by Karsten Bornholm in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The man broke 46 seconds in the 400 hurdles. That's got to be up there. Or maybe it was something else that happened this season, such as Ryan Krauser winning his third straight Olympic gold medal in the shot put. Or perhaps it was Faith Kipyegon achieving the exact same feat in the women's 1500. Every one of these previously stated accomplishments were all incredible moments, as they solidified these individuals as absolute legends in their respective crafts. But what is the rarest thing that has happened from a championship perspective? What is truly the one stat line that is unquestionably superior to all the rest? Well, we have the answer, because in 2024, we saw one athlete achieve something so special that nobody else in history has ever done it. In fact, no one else in history has ever attempted this in running. Just a few days ago, World Athletics selected their Athletes of the Year for track, for field events, and for out of stadium, which is basically just road running. And winning these categories were a few very familiar names. For women's track, we saw the world record breaker, Cindy McLaughlin. Now, in the 1500, she took down none other than Faith Kipyegon. And this actually turned out to be somewhat of a blowout because Hassan ran a 3:51, which at the time was a new championship record, while Kipyegon finished second in 3:54. And if we move over to the 10,000, we saw quite a similar story all time. And notably, this was only the second marathon of her entire career. Out of every one of these primary distance events, she is ranked in the top 10 all time, which is a feat that truly boggles the mind, and it might be the only time that this has ever happened in running. And even though her 800-meter PR doesn't quite rank her in the top 10, her PR of 156.81 from 2017 is yet another pretty crazy addition to her running resume. At the moment, Hassan holds 13 national records. She has 9 European records.
So
And she
incredibly
also
fast.
holds the
It's so
world record.
incredibly awesome. People in front of her. I really hate those that put up this like, this is fantastic, but an hour, you have got to watch for like an hour or something to find out what the hell they're even talking about. So it feels like an hour.
And I got one chance. Take me back to where everything I did is new. I can't stand it, just must stand it.
We begin with Foul Mitten, a YouTuber renowned for his outdoor adventure content, which typically highlights the joys of hunting and fishing. But in this particular video, the focus shifts from the natural beauty of the outdoors to an eerie and unexplained encounter. The video unfolds at night, with Foul Mitten recounting.
Foul Mitten.
Strange event.
They're all over the damn place again tonight.
No, I've seen it.
You're gonna keep walking towards it. You might actually get to capture something here.
Mysterious creatures, seemingly both intelligent and threatening, have been making their presence known in the woods surrounding his home. The family is left disturbed, unsure of what these entities are.
I think there are a bunch of like police, army guys, spies, something like that. With night vision, dressed in those suits.
What they want. The unsettling evening begins with strange noises echoing from the forest. Footsteps, rustling leaves, and the occasional sharp crack of branches suggest that multiple intruders are moving around the property.
All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home.
As the tension builds, the decision is made to take a more defensive approach. A firearm is retrieved, and precautions are taken to ensure the family's safety.
This is our home. You need to leave. You leave now.
A loud gunshot pierces the stillness, an effort to scare the creatures away and assert control over the situation. Forest grows quiet. The brief glimpses of the intruders captured on camera raise more questions than answers. The creature appears vaguely humanoid, but undeniably unnatural. Its eyes reflect light in an otherworldly way. The family is left to speculate. Though the encounter ends without further escalation, it leaves a lingering sense of dread. The next story takes us deep into the woods, where a group of teens discovers that their night of reckless fun hides an even darker presence. Keep watching. You won't believe what they miss. In 2008, a group of teenagers ventured into the forest for a night of fun and mischief. They built a campfire, surrounded by the excitement of being far from prying eyes, and brought along bottles of alcohol to add to the night's festivities. However, their carefree evening took a darker turn, one that none of them noticed until much later. The group decided to experiment with the fire, coming up with the reckless idea of turning one of the bottles into a makeshift bomb by heating it over the flames.
No, it's just big. That's what she said. Here, you put it in there. Look at Paul. Hey, right away. It'll take time.
That is really dangerous, you know. That bottle could explode, probably will. And it could, the glass could go anywhere. You know, like a crack grenade. Like a grenade where the metal just goes anywhere. And I forgot to share. Always got to remember to share. Listen to the rhythm of a falling rain, telling me how cool I've been. Wish that it was gone, but we're trying, move me alone.
Is you putting it right in there in that corner?
Right in the center.
Okay. Hey, hold on.
Okay, you ready? No, it's too tough.
Okay, put it in my combo set. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Not perfect.
As they laughed and chatted, they placed the bottle into the fire, eagerly waiting for it to explode. The anticipation grew, but the bottle didn't burst as quickly as they expected. Instead, it fizzled and hit.
Is that pareidolia, or is that a person leaning over looking in the fire?
Delaying the chaos they were hoping for. As their attention remained focused on the fire, none of them realized they were no longer alone. Behind the flames,
You are not alone.
a shadowy figure appeared, barely noticeable in the flickering light.
Put it. It'll take a minute. We'll start.
Marlon, let's go out to Jackson Rio. Go out.
Be good if it wasn't so green.
No.
Okay, so there's a figure over here. Probably one of the keys drawing in over there. It's supposed to be another. Makes a good chord. There it is, right there. Just stood up. But it could be one. Yeah, it's a guy. Shadow figures don't wear white shirts and so it's obviously a person hiding. It's probably on someone's property. The person is going to do with it.
The figure stood still for a moment, its presence masked by the crackling fire and the group's chatter. Slowly, it moved, leaping away from the sea and disappearing into the forest. The teenagers
No,
were
it didn't. It
completely
didn't
unaware
disappear into the forest. It came around here. And then
of the silent observer.
seeing again here.
So consumed by the fire and their risky experiment that the figure went unnoticed. It wasn't until much later, when they reviewed footage of their night,
He gets up
that
there,
they spotted
he goes off
the
behind the
mysterious presence.
picture, then he comes around,
Who or what
he appears he is some
figure was remained inside. No.
keep on
Was it another person
he is here.
wandering the woods? A local checking on the source of smoke? Or was it something far less human?
Just some guy.
I'd really appreciate if you would take some time to subscribe to the channel and join this amazing community. About 95% of you guys aren't subscribed. It's free, plus
About the same as mine too. About the same as most YouTubers. People watch and don't subscribe. I don't know why. It only helps the creator. It doesn't do anything to the person and helps the person get videos that the creator puts up.
I got a surprise for you once we reach 50.
But it's absolutely no consequence to the person. You don't pay for it. It doesn't cost you anything. All you do is fix the fix.
Subscribers. Now, back to the video. Jacob is a YouTuber who shares his passion for capturing nature's beauty on his channel, Furious Otter. The use of technology to explore remote landscapes has always been a source of joy. But on April 18, 2015, his drone's lens captured something far more unsettling than the scenic beauty of Cannock Chase. Jacob had chosen Cannock Chase for its picturesque vistas and serene atmosphere, a perfect backdrop for his drone footage. After setting up his equipment, he launched the drone into the sky, eager to capture the vast greenery, but amidst the natural beauty, something caught his eye. An odd, white figure standing out starkly against the natural tones of the forest.
I've seen one like this, but there was a child floating there and there was like a big U-shape. Different poster, I think. You want to be careful people watching drones because they want to shoot at it and do stuff stupid things.
It was distant and faint, barely visible among the trees, but it didn't seem to belong. She stood motionless, partially obscured by the trees, as though she was deliberately trying to avoid being filmed. When he posted the video, it quickly gained traction, sparking heated discussions in the comments.
It's not a joke.
Many viewers speculated that the figure might be the legendary Black-Eyed Girl, a folkloric entity said to haunt isolated areas like Cannock Chase. According to legend,
Children are calling.
encountering her is considered an omen of misfortune, and those who see her may even be cursed. Some viewers suggested the woman was a hiker or prankster, while others pointed to the unexplainable details. Was the figure a person, a spectre, or something else entirely?
To me, it's just some person who happens to be walking in the woods at that time. You can see the ground is being farmed, so maybe it's the farmer's daughter or wife or something, or someone who works on the land. I don't think it's a ghost. You can't tell with a black-eyed person who can't see his eyes.
That question
Speculation.
remains unanswered, leaving viewers to draw their own conclusions and to wonder what they might encounter on their next journey into the wild.
Now what you'd encounter here today, extreme rain.
For the next encounter, we now head deep below ground, where an explorer's journey into an abandoned mine takes a terrifying turn.
Not mine. That's really close to me.
What he encounters will leave you speechless.
No, don't mind me. I'm just bringing the game.
Jacob, a seasoned explorer with nearly 20 years of experience uncovering the secrets of abandoned mines, shares his passion for history and adventure on his YouTube channel. On December 5th, 2017, his journey into the Waldeck mine began like any other. Jacob set out to document the eerie beauty of the forgotten tunnels. But what he encountered that night left him questioning his safety and the very nature of the unknown.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and just take a quick look. I don't think I'm going to explore this particular mine. There's a little bit too much water in here, and I know this mine is really old, but yeah, water in a mine. I do see other footprints here in the mud, but I just don't think it's wise to go in here.
Entering the mine, Jacob was immediately struck by its precarious state. As Jacob ventured deeper, the tension in the air grew palpable. Despite the danger, Jacob felt exhilarated. This was the thrill that had drawn him to mines for decades. After walking for over 15 minutes, Jacob decided to explore a branching tunnel he'd skipped earlier. Then, the unsettling noises began. Faint at first, they grew louder. Whispering sounds, almost like hushed voices echoed through the tunnel.
This is one of the creepiest mine tunnels I've ever been in, just because of how dilapidated it is and all these chains hanging down from the overhead, and there's a shot down the tunnel even further, but it's still pretty wet. And taking a look around here back at the entrance, which is there.
The eerie resonance sent shivers down his spine. The further Jacob walked, the more uneasy he became. As he headed toward the exit, he stumbled upon another unexplored section of the mine. Summoning his courage, he cautiously approached it. This area was different. Steel chains hung from the ceiling, their purpose unclear. The sight was unsettling, but nothing about the chains seemed out of place, until one began to swing violently despite the still air around it.
There's actually two tanks in there. This one here, and that one up the back.
I don't know why that one chain is swinging right there. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not.
Yeah, this one here is swinging too. Yeah, they're all starting to swing.
Yeah, this mine definitely has a very spooky vibe to it. So I'm going to head back out and check out the other stuff that's here. This is just too wet and too muddy. And obviously, something is making the chains swing. So, time to get the hell out of here.
The inexplicable movement sent a jolt of fear through him. Deciding he'd had enough, Jacob quickly made his way back to the mine's entrance. This chilling exploration serves as a reminder that even seasoned adventurers can find themselves in situations where the unknown takes center stage. In a chilling video uploaded to TikTok by TRF Hobby, Andrew, an adventurer with a curiosity for the unexplained, captures an unsettling sequence of events deep in the forest. The stillness of the forest is interrupted by an unmistakable sound, the distant rumble of a train. To his astonishment, a train slowly emerges on the tracks ahead.
It's a ghost train.
Oh boy. What do we got going on here? Spooky train of some sort.
Its presence entirely out of place. There are no functioning railways in the area, and yet here it is, a locomotive appearing almost as if out of nowhere. Andrew stands frozen, both in disbelief and curiosity, as he watches the train come to a stop in front of him. Against his better judgment, Andrew decides to investigate.
That's weird. I don't think anybody's driving. I'll pop up and see. Whoa, that's a creepy skeleton.
You've heard of a skeleton key? That's a skeleton driver.
It's been moving for a while. Yikes.
Very devoted worker.
Let's check out the caboose.
Unable to resist his intrigue, Andrew peers inside the train. As he scans further into the shadowed interior, something moves.
578. Huh. I wonder where it's going. See if we can kick in the door or something. I wonder what's in here. Whoa, that's no come.
A figure, indistinct. Its presence is fleeting, barely
It's a skeleton with a cloth over.
visible, but enough
I wonder what's in here. Whoa.
Doesn't look real. The pelvic area is very long range. The head's right at the ceiling. The arms, I think that's an arm. He's only had one arm. Sorry, my face. He's only had one arm. He's probably just pretending. He's probably not even here.
a figure, indistinct.
I'm interested to see where the train goes, though.
Its presence is fleeting, barely visible, but enough to send a jolt of terror through Andrew. Andrew's camera captures his hurried retreat as he decides to abandon the investigation entirely. The footage ends abruptly, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. Was the figure a person, a trick of the light, or something far more unexplainable?
I think it's just a setup. You know, someone's placed a skeleton there and put a thing over it. You know, replace one in the front, one in there. To scare
The train itself.
those train lines have obviously been used quite a bit Otherwise, all the grass is going to be grown over. Across the tracks and all of that, so it's probably some kind of setup.
How could it be functioning on tracks that no longer connect to anything? The footage he captured not only
If you can remote control a car, like they do on Mythbusters, you can remote control a train.
a chilling experience, but also raises unsettling questions about what else might be lurking in forgotten corners of the world.
Damn, I want to go there, yeah.
Our final encounter brings us face to face with something so real and dangerous, it will leave you holding your breath. The final encounter comes from a TikTok video that takes viewers deep into the woods at night, where a man finds himself in a tense standoff with one of nature's most formidable predators, a black wolf.
My mate had a Belgian Shepherd. Apparently the Belgian Shepherd is a crossbreed with that wolf. It actually even looks like that wolf.
The video ends abruptly as the man exits the encounter without harm. The close proximity to such a powerful predator, combined with the palpable tension of the moment, makes this footage hauntingly unforgettable. That was it for this.
That scared you, that's all. You notice it scared him and backed off, it didn't go after him. So it was only telling him to leave. That's all. They had no intention of attacking him.
Make sure to check other interesting videos on the channel. They will be on your screen in about 2 seconds. And with that, I'm out.
Yeah, see you there. Alright, what else can we find out? What? Scary. Let's look on the ghost and hunting. 6 scary videos from someone that everyone else freaking wants it. Mr. Green. All dollars and cents go. Not even can. We're not saying 6 months go to counter. Oh God. Oh man. Most haunted house in the world, but there's always at the time. 7 scariest videos you'll watch. You'll regret watching. Scary compilation, paranormal Bigfoot, the smoke pan, chips, very scary videos, in that one, shocking pudding of elephants. Yeah, some of the most shocking stuff is not what you consider even shocking. Okay, let's go back to this one that sounds really good, but it's probably crap. Let's see.
Harry McClary posted a TikTok on February 7th, 2021. Documenting
Good or crap, put a G or a C in the messages.
an unsettling presence in his home under the cover of darkness. Right from the beginning, something unsettling happens, though you might not catch it unless you're watching carefully. Pay close attention and see if you notice anything out of the ordinary.
Something just walked past the door. See the shadow at the bottom of the door. See the shadow at the bottom of the door? Something in front of it. See it's bright again. See the shadow. Shadow there at the bottom of the door.
If you look closely enough, you'll spot what appears to be a shadow passing beneath the door on the floor. Things only get more intense from there. Watch this next moment. A dog toy can be heard making noise from the other side of the door, much to Harry's alarm. And just when you think the worst is over, something else happens a few seconds later.
Jumps out and scares him. Swinging light.
As soon as Harry steps into the room, the dog toy is lying on the floor, while the overhead light swings violently back and forth. Suddenly, the video cuts out, leaving us all wondering what exactly we just witnessed. In the next video, it's around 4 a.m., and Sakina is sound asleep.
Sakina? I wonder how many people are going to call that Sakina now.
She's usually such a heavy sleeper that her partner has to shake her to wake her. But this night felt different. Right at 4, her dog started howling downstairs, and she felt a peculiar chill she still can't fully describe. With her boyfriend away, she had no choice but to head downstairs to investigate, and she encountered something she
Then she was flipped on her back, the panties pulled off, and screwed silly
never
by an unseen thing.
expected.
Eran las 4 de la mañana y mi perrita no paraba de ladrar.
I can't understand you.
Cuando salí capté esto.
Is that someone standing there flapping their arms, or is it something else? Looks like a box with, are they arms? Are they like sticks with things at the end of them? What are they?
Her dog was barking at seemingly empty space, but a look at the footage revealed a shadowy form, suggesting a ghostly presence. Sakina, trying to stay rational, dismissed it as weird lighting and went back indoors, but things were about to escalate.
And she left the door open. Oh, it's not even a bedroom. Is that something crawling up the stairs?
Sora,
Okay. Do you see that? Hand, black shadow. So it could be a person, which means it could be a host. They could be dressed in black and have something. Their hands out, just blurred out. Not sure. Why, if it was a ghost, why would you blur it out?
Sora subí.
Well, she goes down the stairs towards it like she doesn't see it.
Nera.
At first, Sakina
Hands in flashing.
assumed the
She
eerie
goes
hands she
down
spotted
there.
were nothing but a prank from her boyfriend.
And there's nothing.
Yet, as she
That's curious.
moved closer, those hands appeared to pass right through the stairs,
Was that where they went?
providing chilling proof that she was dealing with something far beyond an ordinary joke. The next video features a single mother named Alex, who just moved into a new house that was once the presbytery of the adjacent church. Supposedly, there's also a cemetery running beneath the property. The eerie happening started on her very first visit. A door slammed behind her, which she chalked up to a simple draft, though she was sorely mistaken. After moving in around late September of 2024, she began hearing strange footsteps, unexplained noises, and glimpses of silhouettes. Then, one evening, she and her cat both noticed loud banging sounds coming from a dark, empty room. Here's what she caught on camera.
Okay. Someone's got fake paws on, hiding behind the curtain. Interesting shoes, though. That's a bear. There's a bear in there. Could be a chair as well. There's a knocking sound. So what the hell? Open wide. Get the hell outside. It's haunted. There's something on the wall. Here. Probably reflection.
A large teddy bear's right foot can be seen moving up and down on its own. But when she peeks behind the curtain, there's no one there. After she switches on the light,
What do you reckon if someone outside, providing this white stuff is not a wall, what do you think someone outside could have had the window open and been banging on it and then moved the thing so that the forward move, and then just as she went to look, closed the window and it dropped down out of sight. You think that could be possibly what it is?
an eerie shadow appears on the wall. On another night, something starts pounding
The shadow could be reflection.
on her door.
Yeah, don't open the door. Many people have had that, they let them in and yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, that's different. Yeah, I saw something covered there too. We have to go back on. What's here? Almost that. So the all come up there. Hold up. See that move? Just a little. It moved down and then back up. And Cody tied is at the end of the hole. So he's seeing going on. There's a net there. Okay, if that's the remote for the truck, someone was hiding there running the remote. I think there's someone in your house, lady.
She checks the remote control, which is turned on, but it doesn't work. Meanwhile, her son remains fast asleep. The following
Yeah. Could have got up, done the thing with the remote, banged at her, get her to get up, went to bed and pretended to be asleep.
While her son is still soundly sleeping, one of his toys starts making noise in his room. Naturally, Alex goes to investigate.
Again, he could have got out of bed, flicked it on, and then went back to bed. Kids are very quick.
The toy seems to move by itself. As she confirms her son is dozing, the leg of a giraffe toy shifts on its own. Alex suspects these unnerving events are linked to the house's unique history. Whether it's truly paranormal is up to you to decide. William Sloane calls a James experiment, which might need a bit of explanation for those who haven't seen the reference. William was just an ordinary boy who came to believe his house was haunted by a spirit he named James. Every day, events so bizarre and out of the ordinary were happening that most people wouldn't believe them. Even when William told his parents, they refused to take him seriously. To prove his point, he started conducting James tests, experiments aimed at capturing evidence of the ghost. This footage comes from one particularly strange test that I think you need to see. Evil spirits, William reasoned, are more likely to mess with religious objects, so he placed a holy book on his living room bookshelf and set up a camera across the room to monitor any activity. And he definitely captured something. Take a look.
Okay. I've been going over the footage from last night, and it's pretty crazy. And I don't know what's going on, but I tell you, I've been loving my cats since I got them for pulling my records off the shelf. And I don't know, sometimes it might be them, but it definitely wasn't last night.
First off, the holy book landed on the floor almost immediately, confirming William's suspicion that something sinister resided in his home. To drive the point home even more, James slid an item across the table, clearly indicating that the book hadn't just fallen by chance. This James experiment was a success. Let me know if you enjoy these tests, because I'll be sure to share more in the future. TikTok user Petit Bourgeoisie regularly shares everyday moments with her 86,000 followers. In 2021, she posted a particularly unsettling clip from the baby monitor in her daughter's room, something she had no way to explain.
I have seen this one before.
As her daughter lay quietly in the crib, the room was silent until a small toy car suddenly rolled out into the open from underneath the crib. The room was silent.
Supongo que soy Cuando tú estás conocido,
Even though this car takes batteries, its wheels are not motorized and it can't move on its own. So, could it be that a restless spirit decided to entertain itself by playing with a toy car? Late one used in Catholic prayer. Intrigued by the sight, he reviews the security camera footage positioned beside his garage.
So that one was about an exorcism going on in that room. People getting scared. The next one was just some shapes going across the ground. Nothing of real interest.
The following security guard
She doesn't need a mask on Halloween.
states that other staff has been seeing strange shadow sightings in this grocery store for quite some time now, and that nobody could ever really explain this phenomenon. It happens so frequently that staff are already joking about the shocking shadows they see. And tonight, the guard seems to have captured the activity on camera.
Mira acá de este lado, es la pantalla que está prendida.
Lots of shops and shopping centres are haunted because of people that died, and that sort of thing.
Ah, ya ve, esa. De ahí en más, pues estoy solo, les digo, todo solo ahorita. Solo. Y ahorita había algo allá, en la entrada de clientes. Hasta allá, hasta el último.
Could be one I've seen. If it is, he walks up the end of the thing over there and thinks you see the person, like this one here. And nothing.
Y lo vi clarito. Ya lo vi otra vez. A ver si alcanza a ver. No, me da miedo ir. A eso que se mira ahí. Ese. Mire, ya se.
See, there's someone at the door. There's a person here now. There's someone at the door.
¡Oh! Está caminando, de hecho está que no manches.
There clearly is a dark silhouette walking in the aisle in the background. And if it wasn't another staff member or customer, do we have to believe that this one is one of these shadows that the man was telling us about at the beginning? How eerie. On the last day of 2022, 3 law enforcement officers responded to residents following a tip-off from a neighbor who reported peculiar and disruptive sounds emanating from the premises. During New Year's Eve, a 20-year-old woman named Kamelka was present in the house with a few friends. They engaged in a questionable activity. utilizing a Ouija board with the aim of summoning otherworldly entities related to a family with cannibalistic tendencies and their unfortunate victims. This decision took an unexpected turn when Kamalka abruptly began displaying unpredictable and untamed behavior, ultimately securing herself inside a room. According to her friends, something went drastically wrong, indicating that Kamelka appeared to
Never play with Ouija boards.
have come under the influence of a malevolent force, indicating that Kamalka might have become possessed.